Hey there, future scientists! Welcome to this explainer on tissues in action. Today, we are absolutely unlocking one of nature's greatest engineering marvels. I mean, think about your own body for a second, or that towering tree just outside your window. How do they actually function, grow, and even heal themselves on a microscopic level? Well, that's exactly what we're going to figure out. To kick things off, let me ask you about two everyday mysteries. First up, how does grass manage to grow right back after a lawnmower just chopped it all down? And second, if you accidentally touch a super hot pan on the stove, how does your hand instantly snap back before you even consciously feel the pain? Like, no way your brain worked that fast, right? Well, biology holds the fascinating answers. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our clear roadmap to master this topic for your exams. 1. The tissue mystery. 2. Plants versus animals. 3. How plants grow. 4. Animal control and movement. 5. A quick exam revision. And 6. A final knowledge check. Section 1. The tissue mystery. So, you already know that a single cell is the basic building block of life. But here's the thing. Even microscopic heroes need a team to survive in a large organism. And that team, we call it a tissue. By definition, a tissue is a group of similar cells working together to perform a specific function. Honestly, it's exactly like a massive factory. If one single person tries to build a car all by themselves, it's ridiculously slow. But if you have an assembly line where one group only paints, another only builds the engine, and someone else installs the tires, suddenly production is incredibly fast. In biology, we call this the division of labor, and it massively, massively increases the efficiency of the body. Let's move to how this all builds up. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. It all starts with those base-level cells. When cells with a similar job group together, boom, they form tissues. Then multiple tissues combine to create organs, like a leaf on a plant or your own stomach. Different organs then link up to form organ systems, like your entire digestive system. And finally, all those systems combine to make a complete, functioning organism. The whole shebang. Section 2. Plants versus animals. Now we're looking at an epic battle of completely different lifestyles. Plants and animals have totally opposite daily routines, which logically means they need completely different tissues. Plants stand completely stationary. Because they don't move around, they need massive structural support just to stay upright, which is why their cells have rigid cell walls. Plus, they make their own food using solar energy. Animals, on the other hand, are highly mobile. To hunt, run, jump, and play, animals require cellular flexibility. And we need specialized tissues to digest the food we actually consume. So form perfectly follows function here. Section 3. How plants grow. So what is the secret behind a tiny little seedling transforming into a massive, towering tree? Plants actually grow in very specific regions using actively dividing cells called meristematic tissue. You definitely need to know the three main types here. First, apical meristems. These are located right at the growing tips of roots and stems, and their job is to increase the plant's length. Second, we have lateral meristems. These wrap around the circumference of stems and roots to increase the plant's girth or thickness over time. And finally, intercalary meristems. These are located at the base of leaves or internodes, and they allow plants, like grasses, to quickly regenerate after being cut. And this brilliantly illustrates how we can observe this in real life. Think about the classic CBSE onion bulb experiment. If you sit an onion in a jar of water, the roots are going to grow rapidly downward, right? That's all thanks to the apical meristem at the tips. But actually, if you take scissors and snip off just 1 single centimeter of those root tips, the growth completely stops, literally stops dead. Without that apical meristem tissue, the plant can no longer grow in length. Okay, listen up, because I really need your full attention here. This is a massive exam focus point. Meristematic cells have a very unique profile. Because they divide so continuously and so rapidly, they have thin cell walls, a large prominent nucleus, and a very dense cytoplasm. But crucially, and underline this in your notes, they generally have absolutely no vacuoles. Why? Well, vacuoles are basically cellular storage units used for holding sap and keeping a cell rigid. Meristematic cells are way too busy dividing. They just don't have time to store things. They are pure, active biological factories. Section 4. Animal control and movement. Shifting gears from stationary plants, let's explore how our own highly mobile bodies function. Did you know every part of your amazing body is built from basically just 4 main types of tissue?
That's it. Epithelial tissue forms your outer covering and lines internal organs to provide protection. Connective tissue, which includes surprising things like bone and blood, connects and supports various organs. Muscular tissue produces both voluntary and involuntary movements. And finally, nervous tissue is your body's high-speed internal communication network.
When we look at muscular tissue, there is one absolute superstar we just have to highlight: the cardiac muscle. Found only in your heart, these cylindrical, branched fibers are nature's ultimate tireless workers. I mean, they contract rhythmically and constantly, keeping your heart beating your entire life without ever experiencing fatigue. It's incredible.
And that brings us to the nervous tissue, which finally solves our second opening mystery. This tissue consists of specialized cells called neurons that act as the body's rapid-fire control network. When you accidentally touch that hot pan, the nervous tissue instantly detects the extreme heat and fires an electrical impulse straight up to your brain and spinal cord. Your brain immediately fires a signal right back to your muscular tissue, commanding it to contract and pull your hand away. All of this happens in a fraction of a second, entirely thanks to the incredible teamwork of your tissues. Section 5. Quick exam revision. So the absolutely crucial point to take away is this. Multicellular life relies completely on the division of labor. Plants rely on specialized meristematic tissues, apical, lateral, and intercalary, to handle continuous growth, while their permanent tissues provide stationary support and conduct water and food. Animals, meanwhile, rely on a super dynamic combination of 4 tissues: epithelial for protection, connective for support, muscular for movement, and nervous for rapid communication. Section 6. Final knowledge check. Now let's see how much you've absorbed. Here is quiz question 1, finally closing the loop on our very first mystery of the day. What specific type of plant tissue allows grass to effortlessly grow right back after being cut down by a lawnmower? I highly encourage you to hit the pause button right now and test your active recall. Do you have your answer? It is the intercalenary meristem. Because this tissue is safely tucked away at the base of the stems and leaves, it totally survives the lawnmower's blades and immediately kicks into gear to regenerate the plant. Pretty smart, right? Awesome job. Let's hit quiz question 2. This is literally one of the most frequently asked CBSE exam questions out there. Why do actively dividing meristematic cells lack vacuoles? Pause for a second and try to visualize those active cells. And the answer is because they need a dense cytoplasm for rapid, continuous cell division rather than storage. Now, what's really interesting here is how structure perfectly matches function. These dividing cells are pure, dense cytoplasm with no wasted space. They are built purely for rapid replication, not for holding on to sap. You all did absolutely brilliantly today. I want you to remember this quote. Understanding how tissues divide labor is the key to unlocking nature's greatest engineering marvels. Mastering this chapter isn't just about scoring high marks on your exams. It is the fundamental building block you need for all your future science and biology learning. It's the key to understanding life itself. I want to leave you with a final thought to really spark your curiosity. Researchers right now are studying how to replicate and modify tissue growth for human welfare. If scientists can finally unlock exactly how to command these intricate tissues to grow and heal on demand, what incredible human disease do you think we could cure next? Think big, stay curious, and keep exploring the wonderful world of science. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. See you next time.